So, it was the residents of Brampton that encouraged me to try to bring a Bill Davis-style approach to the federal Conservative Party. And it's the residents of Brampton who have said if the party doesn't want to go down that path, then come and serve our city. And so it's the residents of Brampton that I'm taking my encouragement to. And I feel very optimistic that we're going to have a great result in October that will put the city in a very strong position.
If you win re-election, I think some questions have been ignored. I don't know where they're from, but if you become mayor again, would you shut down any audits into any financial activity from you on behalf of at Brampton City Hall, possibly connected to the federal race? Would you let those audits go in?
So first of all, those are ludicrous claims that have no credibility, pushed by political adversaries. Let me be very clear. We're going to insist on an investigation to the wrongdoings of the councillors that removed the integrity commissioner. For people that make nonsensical arguments about Brampton's lobbying to get a med school, I am proud that Brampton landed a med school. And it was the Premier himself, Premier Ford, when he called me to tell me the news the day before the provincial budget, and he said, in terms of your Brampton U proposal, you're not going to get a university today, but how does a med school sound? And I said, I'm elated. And I'll be proud to run on the fact that our council unanimously supported a proposal to bring a university to our city. We spent less than the previous council on that advocacy, but we actually got results. I will never, ever be disappointed in the fact that this council delivered a medical school to our city. And I want to actually give credit to Councillor Santos and Councillor Singh. If it wasn't for their relentless advocacy in terms of getting on Brampton, if it wasn't for their relentless advocacy, there'd be no med school in Brampton. This is the first new med school in the GTA in 100 years, and we're proud of it in Brampton. Sure. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Oh boy.
Maintenant, je suis fier d'être ici à Brampton et de partir pour mon ville ici à Brampton, dont le chefferie au niveau fédéral. J'ai dit quelquefois que j'en serais un bon ami et je pense qu'il y a beaucoup de positions similaires sur un parti conservateur inclusif. Okay. Well, there's no other questions. Thank you for being here today, and looking forward to the days and weeks ahead. And those that want to work for other candidates are welcome too. That's the beauty of a democracy. But I feel very confident that the city of Brampton are going to render a verdict on an optimistic, positive approach forward for our city. So onwards to a better future for the city of Brampton. Yeah.